Hello everyone and welcome to this Ringover webinar where we're going to talk about Empower statistics. So just before we start our webinar, I am going to show you our super page just so more people have time to join us. So you have access to the Ringover support page by typing support.ringover.com. And here you're going to find all of our articles about the most important features that you're going to need to use Ringover, how to transfer calls, how to build an IVR, how to integrate Ringover with other solutions. And you also have access to our webinar page. Just going to switch this to English. So you have access to all of our past webinars and also the list of our next webinars. I also wanted to show you our first steps with Ringover page, which is ringover.com/first steps with Ringover. And here you're going to find training paths so you can learn how to use the tool. So whether you're a user, an admin, or a supervisor, you're going to find a training path so you can learn how to use Ringover. Okay, so I wanted to show you this. Let's start our Empower Statistics webinars. So welcome once again. My name is Marcos. I am part of the quality and learning team here at Ringover. And our goal is to help you to better use the Ringover tools. I'm joined today by Bruna, who will be answering all of your questions. So if you have any question regarding Empower, feel free to ask. Bruna is going to answer the questions. And if you don't have an answer, don't worry, I'm going to answer your question by the end of the webinar. So let's start our webinar. Here's the agenda for today. So why choose Empower, call scoring and monitoring, optimize conversations, identify trends and anticipate needs, and the demonstration time. Just for your information, this webinar is being recorded, so you're going to receive after the end of the webinar a link to the replay so you can rewatch the webinar if you need to. Okay, so why choose Empower? Let's first make a distinction between Empower and Ringover. So Ringover is the main tool that you're going to use to make phone calls, to send SMS texts, to make call campaigns. So this is the main tool that you're paying for. Empower is a tool that works alongside with Ringover. So you first need to purchase Ringover, and then you're going to integrate Empower with Ringover to have access to Empower, and then all of your call logs are going to be sent to the Empower tool, and then the AI is going to make a review, so a detailed review of all of your calls that will show up in the call logs of Empower. So Empower will help you by giving you a detailed review of your calls, and improved communication and customer satisfaction. Empower is also going to help you to have a better strategy based on reliable data, and also you will be able to give a follow-up to your team members and do training with your team members based on this analysis that Empower will do of the calls. So maybe something that needs to be improved regarding the speech when they're talking to a client, or other areas for improvement. Okay, so Empower will also show you the most frequent topics that you talk about when you call your clients, the mood of the agent when they're talking to the client, and also, of course, the areas for improvement. Empower will also offer you call scores. So the AI will give a score to the call. So from 1 being the lowest to 5 being the highest. And this score nowadays is based on a criteria such as Is the information accurate and reliable? Is the information clear and it was clearly explained to the contact? Is the contact clearly understanding what the agent is saying? So all of these criteria will be analyzed by the AI, and the AI will give a score to the call from A to 5. So for the moment, the score is not customizable, so you cannot change the criteria. But very soon, you will be able to customize the criteria to automatically score your calls. Empower will also help you to identify trends and anticipate needs by reviewing the recurring themes such as prices, objections, technical bugs, and we also advise you to apply corrective measures such as targeted training with your team members or prioritization of technical problems. So this is our last slide. What Empower brings to your team. So Empower will bring an improved customer satisfaction, time saving thanks to the automation. So we're going to see you can set up automations with Empower, employing training based on potential areas for improvement, and decision making based on solid data that you will have access in the Empower call log and analytics page. So let's go to the demonstration time. So when you're using Ringover, you have access to your dashboard. So you click here. If you have Empower, then you will have access to the Empower solution. So the first thing that you're going to see is the call log. So we currently only can see my calls because I'm filtering using my user. But we're not going to see the call logs today because we already did a webinar dedicated to the call logs. So feel free to look at our webinars page to watch that specific webinar. But today we're going to concentrate on the analytics, which is this page. But first, before we see the analytics, I'm going to show you how to set up the AI. So as you know, if you have used any AI chatbot, an AI needs to be trained. So you have the possibility to train the AI here in Empower. So the AI is a better fit for your company, for your business. So the first thing that we're going to see here is the moment. So remember, I talked about automations. The automation that we're going to have here in with Empower is automatic tags. So what we call here moment is basically a tag. So we're going to create a tag, and this tag is going to automatically be assigned to a call based on keywords. So every time you or the client says a keyword, then the tag is going to be assigned to that call. So it's automatic. You just need to create a tag, create the keywords, and then the tag is going to automatically be assigned to the call. So let's see how we do that. So you can search for all of your tags here. You can filter by team member, and you can add a new moment, a new tag. You can customize it manually or with the help of AI. So I'm going to pick this option. You can type in, for instance, training. So you're suggesting a word to the AI, and you can generate keywords. So the AI is going to propose you, it's going to indicate you a lot of keywords. So you can refresh it if you're not happy with the keywords that the AI showed you. Just gonna zoom in. So as you can see, I have education, learning, development. I'm gonna delete some keywords because I don't want all of them. And then you can add a moment. So you have all of your keywords here. You can add more keywords if you want to. You can choose the language, and you can, of course, change the name of your tag, the color, the emoji. You can select a group of users who have access to this tag, or leave it open for everyone. This is optional, and this is very important. So is your tag related to what the agent is going to say, or is it related to what the client will say? So for instance, if your tag is more related to the contract or to the sales speech, then you should select agent, because you're watching what the agent is saying, and then every time the agent says education, workshop, classroom, trainer, then the tag is going to be assigned to the call. If the client says one of the keywords, the call is not going to be assigned to this tag, because you only selected agent. On the other hand, if you select contact, then every time the client says one of the keywords, then the tag is going to be assigned. Or you can select both if it's a more generic tag that can be assigned to either the agent or the contact speech. So this is very important when you're creating the automatic tag. And then you can save your changes, and you're going to find your tags here in the moments page. So the second thing that we're going to customize is the vocabulary. So as you know, sometimes you can say, for instance, Ringover, and you actually mean ring over, where you're talking about ring someone over. And sometimes you're talking about the company, ring over the company. So you need to teach the AI to identify some of these words that can be confusing, so you can customize the vocabulary in French, English, or Spanish. Also, you can use a template for the call summary. So in Power, we will offer you a call summary of all of your calls. You have a transcript and a call summary. So you can customize the call summary here. You can try to choose a template. For instance, if you work in customer support, sales, recruitment, you can choose any of those available templates. You can also choose between a short summary and a long summary. You can add keywords to improve the accuracy of the summary. And you have access to a summary preview depending on the template that you chose. Or if you're not happy with the templates that we created for you, you can create your own template. So you need to write a prompt. So when we're talking about AI, a prompt is basically a way to teach the AI to do what you want it to do. So an example of a prompt would be, you work as a CSM, do summary related to the client experience. So this is just an example of what a prompt would look like. And then you choose between short or long, and then you're going to have the summary preview, but you need to save it first to have access to the summary preview. But your prompt can be even more detailed. This is just an example of how you would create a template for a call summary. Okay, so we saw how to customize the AI. Now we're going to see the analytics, which is why we're here today. Okay, so the analytics page will look like this. Of course, I'm filtering using my user, so that's why we're only seeing data related to my account. And here in the analytics, we're going to have the talk ratio. Every time you're going to see this information button, so you can just hover over it, and you're going to have the explanation about the metrics. So for instance, the talk ratio is how much your agent talked compared to how much the client talked. So for instance, my user, my account, talked 53% compared to how much the client was talking during the conversation. You also have a percentage of decrease or augmentation. You also have access to a graphic here, so you can change the graphic. You can change week, day, month, or hour. You can see the changes during the week or the day. And you also have access to the leaderboard, where you're going to see all of the agents ranked by percentage. So I'm just gonna take off this filter to show you when you have a lot of users, this is what you're going to see. So when you have a lot of users, you're going to see all of your users, and it's a ranking based on the talk ratio. So you can click here and you're going to see lowest to highest. Click again and you're going to see highest to lowest. Just going to filter this again based on my user. Okay, so we saw the talk ratio. Next, we have the monologue average, which is the amount of time that the agent spoke without being interrupted by the client. So for how long your agent was able to speak before being interrupted by the client. So this is an average. So every 9 seconds, I was interrupted by the client. You also have the speech rate, which is the words per minute spoken. So I have 2,000, more than 2,000 words per minute speech rate. Once again, every time you have the graphic that you can change and the leaderboard, which is a ranking of all of your users based on the speech rate in this case. The interruption average, which is how often the client is going to interrupt you, the client. You have also the call score, which is, as I said, a score that the AI will automatically assign to the call. So every time the call is finished, the AI will analyze it based on some criteria, such as the clarity of the message. Is the client understanding what the agent is saying? So the AI will analyze this and will give a score to the call. So once again, this criteria is for now not customizable, but very soon you're going to be able to do that. You also have the mood. So the mood can be neutral, positive, and negative. Once again, the AI will analyze the call and give it a mood. So the call mode is based on the words and speech patterns used by the contact to identify their emotions during the call. So this is what you're going to have access in the analytics that is offered to you by Empower using the AI. So every time you're going to have access to the graphics and the ranking. You also have the filters, of course, in the same way that you can filter your analytics in Ringover, you can also filter analytics here in Empower. So you can filter by user. So just search for a user and then you'll be able to filter with this specific user, by groups of users, by audio type. So incoming call, outgoing, missed calls that went to voicemail, and uploaded audio, because here in Empower, you can upload a file as well to be analyzed. Let's go back to the filter. Audio type, favorites. So you can filter by favorites. By call score, so from lowest to highest, from mood, audio language, moments, which are the automatic tags that you created, the duration of the calls, and the date, so a date range, today, yesterday, last month, or you can just personalize it. After that, you need to apply the filters to have access to the filters, or you can reset the filters. Feel free to ask any questions about the analytics. I'm going to show you now. So now you saw the performance section. I'm going to show you the moment section, which is kind of similar to the tag analytics in Ringover. So when you have access to the Ringover dashboard, you have the tags analytics, which are here. So you have a ranking of all of your tags. Here's the same. So you're going to have a ranking of all of the tags that you use. from highest to lowest. You can click here. So by clicking here, so you click on the specific tag, and then you're going to have access to a graphic once again, and to the leaderboard once again. You can see the keywords, how many times they were used. You can filter by day, month. You can see the evolution here. And here, going to have the leaderboard. Once again, I'm going to take off my user to show you. So once it's charged, so now you can see the list of all of your users. For instance, this user had one call, and for this call, well, for one call, they had this tag assigned. So this is why you can see 100%. But if the user has, for instance, 50%, that means that half of the calls that they had this tag assigned. Let me filter with my user again. So this is the moments analytics, which will rank all of your moments, all of your tags, based on the most used, well, from the most used to the less used in the ranking. And if you click here, you can see all of these details. You also have access to the leaderboard, which will show you all of your agents, once again, ranked by the metrics that you choose. So for instance, talk ratio, monologue average, words per minute, interruptions, call score, contact mood average. And you're going to see all of your agents here if you're not using a filter, of course. So when you have the list of your users, you can click here, and then you're going to change if it's from highest to lowest or lowest to highest. You can do the same for the monologue, words per minute, interruptions, call score, and the mood. You can also set up a filter for the mood. You can search for the user and manage columns to add or take off some metrics from the columns. For instance, I can put the average communication call duration and the most used moments here. So you can just manage the columns to customize it for your business. Okay, so I just showed you all of the analytics sections, but I also wanted to show you when you have a call within Empower, you have access to some details. So let me just show you. So when I click on a call, I'm gonna have access to the call details, which we call it the recap. So I have access to the recap, where I'm gonna find all of the call information, so date and duration, the call participants, the call score. So here you have access to the criteria used to score this call. You can change the language for, of course, for the summary. So you have the summary here, you have the highlights. The highlights are the most important moments of the conversation. Of course, they were chosen by the AI. So you can share the summary and copy as well. The AI will also tell you the reasons for the call, the issues raised during the call resolution, and the next steps for this specific call. You're going to have a little graphic of the general mood during the call. So you have from 0 minutes to 13 minutes, you're going to have the evolution. And some tips, such as the speech rate, the talk ratio, how to enhance all of these metrics. Here, they were pretty good. So every time I get a great job, your talk ratio was perfectly balanced. And you also have access to all of the automatic tags here. So all of the tags that do not have the word added, they were automatic added to the call. So this was automatic, this automatic, this automatic. These two, because they have the word added, they were assigned to this call manually. So how to do that? Just click here and you're going to be able to add a tag to this call, so a moment, automatically. So this is how you make the distinction between the automatic and the manually added tags. Okay, so I just show you everything about the recap, and you also have the studio. So in this studio, you're going to have access to the call recording, which is here. You have, of course, the agent, which is here, and the client, which is here. So you can see when the agent or the client use one of the keywords and when the tag was assigned. So if you click here, you can see that at some point I used the keyword here, and then that's why the tag was assigned to this moment of the conversation. You can search in the transcript. You can, of course, change the language. Let me just change the language. You can download it in text or CSV. And you can also highlight some informations in the transcript. For instance, here I'm talking about me. So this is related to a person. So this is why it's highlighted. If I take this off, if I click here, then it's not highlighted anymore because I took off all of the people's highlightings. But here, as you can see, this is related to a company. So if I take this off, then it's not highlighted anymore. Let me look in the transcript. Okay, so no, this is related to people. So if I click here, not highlighted anymore. This is related to the time. So if I click here, date and time, then it's not highlighted anymore. So this helps you to find information more easily in the transcript. You also have access to the playback speed. You can download the transcript, the call recording. I'm sorry. So this is to download the transcript. This is to download the call recording. And you can create a snippet. What is a snippet? A snippet is just a short moment of the conversation that you can cut out of the conversation to use it with your team members, either to show them an extraordinary moment of the conversation where the agent was really good, the speech was perfect. So we want to show this to all of your team in a training session. So you can create a snippet and show only this moment to the team. On the other hand, if the speech of the agent was not really good, the agent was talking negatively about the solution. So you can also create a snip out of this moment to show it to the team members, to show them what they should not do when they're talking to a client. So just click here on the scissor, choose the moment, and then you're going to click here, create a snippet. You're going to give it a name, for instance, test, Marcos, and then you're gonna save it. And by clicking here on the right of the on the right of your screen, you're gonna have access to the comments. So the comments are all of your messages that you're sharing with the whole team. So for instance, I want you to listen to this. And then all of your team members that have access to this call are going to see this comment. If you tag someone, for instance, if I tag Bruna is going to receive an email saying you were tagged in this call. So the person receives a notification. This is where you're going to find all of your snippets. So as you can see, I have test Marcos test, and Marcos snippet. You have access to the library. So if I'm in the call log, in the call details, if I click on the library, I can add this call to a specific folder in the library. If I click here, I can see the contact history. And for the library, just a detail, here I'm inside the call details. So I'm talking about the whole call. If I click here, I'm going to add the whole call to a folder. On the other hand, if I come here in the snippet, and if I click here, for instance, test markers. So as you can see, I'm not inside the entire call anymore. I'm inside the snippet. So I'm only checking the snippet. Then if I click here and if I click on add to library, I'm gonna add only the snippet of the call, not the whole call. But if I come back to the whole call again, so to the entire call, then if I click here, I'm gonna add the entire call to the library. So you need to make the distinction between the entire call and only the snippet of the call. Let me just check if we have any question, because we're getting to the end of the webinar. So I showed you everything about the analytics. I showed you how to create a snippet, and also showed you how to customize your AI so it can be a better fit for your company. So if we don't have any questions, I just wanted to show you, to say you thank you to coming for this webinar. Feel free to check our webinar lists, to check our next webinars, and also to check our super page, and also our first steps with Ringover page to get access to the training paths that we created for you, our users, our clients, for you to get better at the Ringover solutions usage. So thank you for coming, and see you on the next webinar. Thank you.